Are y'all ready for season 2 of the $5 Game Box? I hope so. Because right now I'm in my car. It's after work. It's dark. There's snow all over the road. I'm going to hopefully get my first pickup for the $5 Game Box season 2. It's the $5 Game Box season 2, episode 1. Welcome back to the Juice Daddy channel. Currently, in the $5 Game Box, we have no games. This box is being used for SNES Classic storage and Steam Link Steam controller storage. We also have GameStop credit of an unknown amount, Retro Game Store credit of $142, and ironically, $141 in cash. Also, it's being used for my lone Christmas decoration.
I'm a snowman. Rock and roll man. Yeah, baby, I'm so cool.
The $5 Game Box is our continuing quest to build an awesome collection of video games by starting with only $5. In Season 1, we started with only $5, and we filled this box. At the end of Season 1, I added a crap ton of games to my personal collection and wound up with some cash and a whole bunch of Game Store credit and GameStop credit. I did lie about there not being any games in the box, though. You see, when I took in the $5 Game Box games to the Retro Game Store to get a lot of that cash and a lot of that credit, oh, and that complete in box Conker's Bad Fur Day. Yeah, that's courtesy of $5 Game Box hunting right there, baby. I forgot 2 games. Blaster Master and Kung Fu. Technically, these are still in the $5 Game Box. And we may need these based on the deal I got coming up, which you should be seeing right about now. Welcome back, Gameboxians. Alright, let's go. Exciting. So, I was on my lunch break today, and I opened Facebook, and I hit the marketplace. I don't get notifications. I usually miss anything good as far as Facebook groups go. But I saw this, and I clicked on it, and it had a ton of views. Like, over 500 people had viewed the posting. But I just messaged him because it was still up, and he said it was still available. So I'm on my way now to go check it out. I may turn it down. It's an NES. He said it works. 22 games, and he had it listed at $120. And I think that's what's turning off people is $120. And mostly because there's no Marios, there's no Zeldas, there's no Metroid. However, and his picture sucks, by the way. But I do see a River City Ransom, which is about a $30 game. And I do see Tecmo Super Bowl, which is about a $20 game. So there's $50 in value. You figure $50 in value on the NES, especially if it's working, and plus other games. And most of the other games I can make out aren't exactly, like, set the world on fire. There's an Ultima game, which is either an Ultima game that's worth about $8 or worth about $50. I can't really tell from the picture which one it is. I'm just going to go ahead and assume it is the $8 one, and then count my lucky stars if it's the $50 one. The Punisher's in there. The Punisher's about a $15 game. I actually need in this other lane. This sucks. I'm gonna get over there. I'm not, basically. Oh well. Let's see what else was in there. Punisher. I mean, a lot of, like, as CJR would say, schnickel fritz, but good games. Russian Attack is in there. Track and Field. One of the Sesame Street games. One of the Fisher-Price games. Top Gun is in there. Jordan versus Bird is in there, which I don't think I own, actually. The Jordan versus Bird. Super Dodgeball's in there. That's about a $12 game or so. Rescue the Embassy Mission, which is not a valuable game, but I heard it's kind of fun. I haven't played it yet. So there's some decent titles. A Mario Brothers Duck Hunt, of course, but no Mario 2, no Mario 3, no Zeldas, no Metroids, no Kid Icarus. So I'm kind of looking, and there's at least 3 titles I could not make make them out. I saw one that's obviously a Monopoly. So yeah, so let's head over there. I'm probably just going to pay the $120 because there's at least $120 in value there, and I've got the money, and it'd be a good start to the game box. If I can talk him down, great. But part of me is like, there's a reason that this isn't sold yet. So I might find out what that is, because I definitely wasn't the first or even among the first to see that listing, and yet it's still up, and I'm on my way to go see it and possibly buy it. So what's wrong with it, other than the price kind of turned people off and the picture stunk? So let's go find out, and I will see you on the other side, because he's been messaging me. He sounds like a jackass, so I'm not going to try to film in his house. Oh, fuck him, I may try. We'll see. See you on the other side. All right. Well, I just left that dude's house. It's actually right here. He's already gone. He left before I did. I guess he had somewhere to be. $120 for a bunch of games and an NES. He was throwing in this little, like, maybe 19-inch TV. Couldn't really tell what brand it was, so it's an off-brand thing. So I decided to, like, man, you can keep the TV. How much? $120. I thought about it, but I'm like, you know, let's go for it. It's got some games I don't have, period. It'd be a good way to start this $5 game box, and they're all in pretty good shape. And he says the NES works. He says they played it all the time. So I just figure $120, a working NES. If I throw in like that Mario Brothers Duck Hunt, which granted we don't have in the $5 game box, of course, but we're gonna find. And that's another thing we need to discuss. Am I going to run the $5 game box again like a separate collection? Like, oh no, we don't have Mario Brothers Duck Hunt, I need to keep it. I don't think so. But if I get that NES with the Mario Brothers Duck Hunt, maybe throw in that Blaster Master and Kung Fu, and let's put it up for $60 cash. Alright, so there's half our money. The River City Ransom and the Tecmo Bowl is like $50 together, so that's $110. So even if all the other shit is schnickel fritz, we've got $120 in value, probably more. So let's go ahead, get back to the place. Let's go through our first pickup in the $5 game box season 2. What is up? We are back doing the $5 game box. Now, it's the beginning of December. Ain't no garage sales, yard sales happening anytime soon where I'm at. So we have to have lucky finds. Lucky finds like this. If you consider $120 a lucky find. So, I don't know how often these are going to be. For all I know, this could be the only one that I do for the rest of this year. I'll do some game hunting, but Sometimes I don't find much at the thrift stores and pawn shops around here. Although, it's not exactly impossible to find good stuff out at our thrift stores and pawn shops. A good friend of mine found a 3DO and like 13 games for, I think he paid $20. Real good games too, not crap games, all complete. So it happens. And of course, just doing the $5 game box. This right here, I should make sure this is in every like pickup recap of $5 game box this season until we stop doing it, until I take another break. Because this is just part of the fruits of the first season of the $5 game box. We got that. I got that. Very happy. That is complete. Complete in box. Conker's Bad Fur Day for N64. If you haven't watched before, and you're asking what the hell is the $5 game box, let me tell you. Last October 2016, a year and 2 months ago, I was watching a YouTube channel much bigger than mine, Craigslist Game Finds, and the guy on there named White, he decided to start a game collection with only $5. Now that really struck a chord with me, because at the time I was getting really annoyed with all these people who would comment on pickup videos or garage sale videos or whatever, or or CJR's videos, or anybody's videos really, fluffy gamers, tight whites. Oh man, you can't find game. I can't find games like that. They're about all the scalpers, all the sharks. They take them all. I can't find games anymore, and if I do, they're so expensive. I just can't do it. I was like, I'm in bumfuck Montana. I know it's possible. So I said, I'm going to start my own separate collection of video games. A curated collection of video games. And I'm only going to put in $5. I'm not putting in 1 more cent of my personal money into that collection, but just $5 bill. And yeah, I had to get lucky with that first find. I found a Jungle Green N64. If you're going to do it, you have to get lucky with that first find. You have to find somebody selling something really low that you can turn around and flip for really high. If you're like White, you got lucky. He found like somebody selling GameCube games for $1 a piece. So he got like 5 GameCube games and sold 2 and kept 3 for his collection. That happened to, I had, if you look at my pickup recap of the first season, I have plenty of games I showed off. PS2, GameCube games, Xbox games that were $1 a piece at a garage sale. I picked up 18 of them. I spent $21, 18 games and $3 on a freaking Wavebird. So it's possible. And a lot of those games are worth $20, $30. And they were in mint condition. You can do it. Look what happens. How do I do it? In the summertime, spring, summer, fall, yard sales, thrift, garage sales, all the time. Thrift stores, pawn shops, the local game store, Facebook groups, Craigslist, eBay if I have to. I'm constantly hunting. I'm always in hunting mode. There's never a day where I'm like, I'm not checking the Facebook groups today. I'm not checking Craigslist today. And I stopped doing the $5 game box. I was kind of not feeling it. I didn't want to spend every Saturday going around doing thrift stores. But if you're going to game collect, if this is what you're going to do, if you're into old games, you got to get out there. You got to put yourself out there. Then you got to be willing to flip. You got to be willing to put in some work. Sometimes, a lot of times, I take the easy way out. I go resell at the local retro game store. Especially if I'm buying super low, I know he's going to give me a decent price. He's going to turn around and sell it for more, but he's going to give me a decent price. All right? Sometimes I'm putting stuff on Craigslist and the Facebook groups myself. I don't particularly like spending part of my afternoon meeting people out in some grocery store parking lot, but that's how you get the funds to continue collecting. The point is to get more funds into this wallet right here. This wallet right here to continue game hunting and building a game collection. Now, some of you may be saying, man, you're cheating. Juice. You started all with a $5 bill. But here in Season 2, you started your wallet off with $141, which now there's only $21. At which point I say, hey man, that's my money, man. That's all $5 game box money. I'll be honest, I've lost track of $5 game box stuff. I know I put some stuff on this GameStop trade credit card over Black Friday at GameStop that's going to be in my Black Friday pickup here in a few days, a week, or whatever, when everything finally gets here through the mail, that probably belongs as part of the $5 game box collection. I forgot what it was. And, man, like $5, I bought that, it's right over there. You may have saw it at the beginning of the video. That Complete in Blocks Blue Wii, $5 game box money. What happened at the end of Season 1, in case you didn't miss it, in case you missed the recap, I recapped everything that we had at the end of Season 1, $5 game box, and then I merged my collections. I merged my $5 game box collection with my personal collection, which meant I had a lot of duplicates. I took most of those duplicates to the retro game store. That's why I had a bunch of cash on me and all that trade store credit. So we're sitting on trade store credit. We're sitting on GameStop credit. I think they're doing a buy two, get one retro games. I might want to look that up for episode 2. Maybe just something to think about. And we had the cash. And I had enough cash to buy this Conkers from them. Go back and watch those recaps. Great stuff. $5 bill. And as far as I'm concerned, we have this collection of NES stuff right here because a year and 2 months ago, I put in a $5 bill and said, I'm building a game collection. And here we go. With the fruits of that $5 bill, we do Season 2 of the $5 game box, an NES, and 22 games. Let's go. This NES, we'll start with the NES. Cords are tangled, but overall, I have to say that this NES is in pretty decent condition. This dude must have been in a hurry. I don't know why anybody passed this up. I know I wasn't first, and according to that Facebook post, this thing had been up on Facebook for a day. I don't know why people were balking at it. As you're going to see when you see the games and you see the system itself, it's I don't know, $120, probably a more than fair price. He's trying to pawn off some TV, some old like 19-inch CRT TV. I don't think it even had a brand on it, so I was like, man, you can keep it. If he was putting a little Sony Trinitron out there, I would have grabbed it. But so we got 2 controllers. Got ourselves the orange zapper. Here, orange zapper, hookups, RF switch, power cable, all right there. And let's put that down here. And here's the NES. Maybe. There we go. Here's our NES. Relatively clean. Relatively clean. No game inside. He says it works. He says they even cleaned it after they would play a game a couple times and they would clean it. As you're going to see, these games are most part in really, really good condition. If this thing works, I'm going to pair it with that Blaster Master and Kung Fu that you saw earlier. Right there. I'm going to pair it with these 2 games, which are the only holdovers from $5 Game Box Season 1, because I was an idiot and didn't put these into the games that I took to the game store to trade in. I set them aside for some reason. I think it was because I couldn't find Blaster Master. I'm like, I know I own it, but I was losing my skull. Maybe I don't own Blaster Master. Maybe I need Blaster Master. Don't need Blaster Master. So I'm going to pair with these 2 games. And spoiler alert, there's a Mario Duck Hunt in this box. Those 3 games, if the system works, I'm putting it on Facebook groups and Craigslist for $60. I'm going to get half our money back immediately. I think it's fair. $60, 2 controllers, zapper, and system, and 3 games. So maybe do 70 and be able to be talked down to 60. Recoup our money, part of our money, and keep us in good condition for the $5 game box. Anyway, as always, I do pricecharting.com values. Pricecharting.com value is good as of 8:22 Mountain Standard Time on December the 4th. They have an NES control deck valued at $46 and a zapper valued at $9.95. So $56 is what they value a loose NES at. So I think $70, more than fair price. 2 controllers. They have the controllers priced at $12.95. I guess, can I add an extra $12.95 because there's 2 controllers? I don't know. $60, sure. All right, let's get to the games. Here's one I was curious about, and I know I don't own it. It's Ultima Exodus. Unfortunately, I believe it's the cheapest of the 3 Ultimas on NES. It's got a pricecharting.com value of, where did I write it at? $7.50. There is an Ultima that's worth $49.99. I was really hoping, because like I said, his picture stunk, which is odd because he told me he repairs cell phones and he's into cell phones. I'm like, and you couldn't take a better picture? You couldn't find a phone with more than potato quality? Dude. Anyway. Ultima, I don't believe I own. So, it's a nice little thing, nice little find for Season 2. Alright, Track and Field 2. Track and Field 2 is what it is. It's a good condition cart. $3.84. Here's one I don't own in any capacity. I never heard of it. It's Cyberball. Cyberball. It's got a little, dent or something, right? Like, looks almost like a cigarette burn. I don't know what that is. And there's, whoever they bought it from, they put some labels on the labels, which sucks. But overall, the cart's in really good condition. And according to price charting, it's worth $13.05. Nice little find. This, I'm happy to find. I don't believe I own any of these games. It's The Adventures of Lolo. Now, this one is only worth $8.87. The first one. The second one is worth $20.25. The third one, you get up to around $40. You find Adventures of Lolo 3. But here's Lolo 1 going in the $5 game box. There's the aforementioned Mario Brothers Duck Hunt. If we get more NES games, we're going to find this 2 or 3 more times. Don't seem to have any trouble acquiring Mario Brothers Duck Hunt. I have no qualms getting rid of it the moment it comes in my possession. I definitely don't need it. $5.29 according to price charting for one of the most sold out games ever. Rescue the Embassy Mission is there, and it is valued at $5.64. Now here's a nice find. Tecmo Super Bowl. In really, really good shape. There it is. Tecmo Super Bowl has a pricecharting.com value of $19.95. Good little find. Keep your eye on it if you're out game hunting. And one I do have in my personal collection, so if push comes to shove, we can sell that. I may be playing a little bit looser with the rules. Maybe. Last season, I really tried hard to keep the collection separate, so even though I had semi-valuable or even valuable games that I was technically doubling up on between my personal collection and the $5 game box collection, I would keep them in the $5 game box, because if we're building a curated collection of video games, we would keep something like Tecmo Super Bowl in there, or The Adventures of Lolo in there. This time, I'm like, do I really need Tecmo? If I need $20 in, to go game hunting, I can get rid of Tecmo Super Bowl. Top Gun. I very well could throw this in this little bundle to sweeten the deal, because I seem to have no problem finding either of the Top Gun games for NES. They're like flies. They're not worth a penny. $4.20. They're not fun. I don't like them. And that right there, I mean, along with Mario Brothers Duck Hunt, Top Gun making its second appearance in the $5 game box. Rad Racer. This is a little bit different. I don't particularly know or care much about this, but there are some people who go, like, really seek these out. This is a 5-screw variant of Rad Racer. I've been told that means it's a little bit better build quality. It's an NES cart. It's worth $4.99 according to price charting. That is the 5-screw version. It's worth $4.99. So I don't know quite what makes these special. I know there are some 5-screw variant games that really do like gain value because of those 4th and 5th screws. Like I said, I don't know much about it. Why or how? Here is Home Alone 2 Lost in New York. It is worth $6.14. And what we got here? Here's one of that Fisher-Price game, Perfect Fit. Fisher-Price Perfect Fit, $5.49. These games like Home Alone, Fisher-Price, even Top Gun, these are candidates to go to the retro game store. He does 2-for-1s on common games. He may not do it for Fisher-Price and what's coming up next, Sesame Street. He may not do it for these. These may be a little bit too, like, I can't sell those. But usually he'll take 2, like, low-value games like these, and you can get one of his, like, common, the ones he puts out on the floor that aren't really, you know, maybe worth $8, $10, whatever. Kind of hoping to do that with, maybe go quality over quantity. And even though I don't think I own any of the Fisher-Price or Sesame Street games, I'm not exactly going for a complete collection like my boy Bithead is. Maybe I'll send this shit to Bithead. Maybe we'll make Bithead 1000, a friend of the show. I'll send his ass Sesame Street and Fisher-Price and say, you want to go for a complete collection? Here you go, buddy. Anyway, Sesame Street is Sesame Street Big Bird's Hide and Seek, the first talking game for NES. Don't you know? $3.50. I should. Here's your Fisher-Price and here's your Sesame Street, dude. Oh, here we go. Rampage. How did this play on the NES? I don't really remember. I may have played it once or twice. And like I said, these carts, I know I'm not turning them all over and showing you top labels for all of them. Almost all of them, except for one, the most valuable one, is in near perfect condition. And even that one's nice. I'll show you that one here in just a moment. Rampage worth $12, according to price charting. Monopoly. Yay, $5. Russian Attack. Can't recall if the NES port's any good. I think it is. It's just really repetitive. It gets really repetitive really fast. Played the hell out. I put a lot of quarters in this in the arcade. Wasn't a big fan of the NES port back when I was a kid. Russian Attack. Where did I write it down at? $6.63. There's Skater Die 2. I was never big into these skateboarding games back in the day, back in the 80s. I know 720, Skate or Die, everybody loved them. I couldn't play them very well. Man, people were popping tricks with those special joysticks in the arcades. They just weren't for me, I guess. $7.46 is the price charting .com value of that. Jordan versus Bird, 1-on-1. Not even sure if I owned that at all. Huge fan of Jordan back in the day. Huge Bulls fan. And Bird, I'm telling you, Bird was fun to watch too. The Celtics with Bird and McHale and Robert Parrish. A lot of fun to watch. And then right after them, you had a little moment with the Bad Boys in Detroit, which I hated. I hated with a passion. Then the Bulls came along with, everybody remembers Jordan, but, you know, no, Scottie Pippen don't get his due. Horace Grant don't get his due. Then after Horace Grant, it was Rodman and Tony Kukoc. Fun teams. Jordan versus Bird, one-on-one, $4.94. I've never actually played this. Is it literally just a game of video game one-on-one? Because if it is, that's like the souped-up like Atari 2600 basketball game. Ooh. A little double cart, Super Spike V-Ball, and Nintendo World Cup. And so 2 games in one. Who cares? $5.59. This is reminiscent of the first season. Now, the first season, like I said, our first find was that Jungle Green N64, which we bought for $5 and flipped for $40 and gave us some good game hunting money. And then our first find was a nice N64 lot. So the first games last year were a big stack of N64 titles. Now we're putting a pretty big stack of NES titles starting this off, which I love because it's really easy, especially if you're relying this time of year on thrift stores, Goodwills, pawn shops. Really easy maybe find some decent PS2 and Xbox games and having a bunch of that and hopefully finding one cart once in a blue moon. Starting it off with a big stack of carts really makes me happy because it won't be no time when we got like more PS2 and Xbox 360 than we know what to do with. So that we got some retro to start it off makes me really, really happy. Anyway, there's Dragon Warrior. And I wish it was 2, 3, or 4 because it's a lot more valuable. And I've only come across 4 once, never come across 2 or 3. And I seem to come across this almost as much as I come across Top Gun. It's literally like a goddamn flea. But hey, at least it's a good game. Dragon Warrior is worth $7.49. Super Dodgeball is worth $13.88. Pretty nice. The Punisher. Nope, that's just some styrofoam for some reason from the box. I thought it was a bad label, but nope, it's looking good. Punisher is worth $14.99. Unfortunately, it's made by LJN, so it sucks. And finally, this is a game I've been eyeing on every GameStop 2-for-1 retro sale like in the past 6 months, but I can never find 2 closely priced games to pair with it. Other games I wanted either cost $20 more or like $15 less. I'm like, that just kind of kills the deal if you start buying games for less than like the main game you want. You're kind of like the deal's not worth it anymore. So to find it in this lot makes me really happy. River City Ransom is being added to my collection as part of the $5 game box. And I can't be happier. Like I said, this is like the one game that has any like cosmetic damage, and it's right there. And I'm not going to piss and moan too much about that. Actually, one of these games, I forgot which it is, did have they were trying to tear the label here in the corner. Don't care. For the most part, these are really well taken care of. River City Ransom, according to price starting today, is worth $28.55. GameStop selling it for $34.99 is their base price for it. And eBay kind of flips between, like, sold listings go anywhere between $27 up to $35, $36 for cart only. So it's about right. River City Ransom tops the stack of 22 NES games to start Season 2 of the $5 game box. We'll add it all up, and I've got a PriceCharting.com value of $250.94 for $120 spent. And we're going to make some of that back, hopefully at least 60, maybe 70, selling this NES in a couple games. But this is all fingers crossed right here. Fingers crossed because he says it works and they played it all the time. But like I said, he was in a rush. He barely let me in the front door of his home. Understandable. He doesn't know me. I don't know him. So I'm going to test it. I'm going to test this NES. If it's got any blinking, any signs that this pin connector is fucked, I'm just going to take the thing to the retro store. He's sitting on he says he's got back stacks of NES that are like waiting to be cleaned, and he'll still give cash for them, but like I think it's $20 I think he'll give for an NES. So One way or another, we're going to get a little cash, but it could be a $50 difference depending on whether this thing is working or not. So let me hook this bad boy up, and we'll end the video by checking out whether this NES is working. So give me just a moment to clean up, move the $5 game box back to its window place, and I'll see you in just a minute when I get the NES hooked up. Alright, we got Mario working, and it worked just right up. Just turned it on, boom. One of the smoothest NESs I've seen in a long time. Let's load up something else. Alright. Of course, we can't test Duck Hunt on this TV, so Blaster Master. Turn it on. Uh-oh, see, here we go. How's the cart? The cart looks clean. I'm sure it's in there good. It's trying to come up. Let me play with this Blaster Master right up. You wanna know what worked? That cart said, "Blow me!" And I did. Cool. And Kung Fu is loaded. So Kung Fu loaded, Blaster Master loaded, Super Mario Bros. Loaded. We're going to get this game listed. Get this game listed, get the system listed for $70. Hopefully make at least $70 of our money back. And put that with the 21 we have in the $5 game box for some future game hunting here on the return of the $5 game box. The long-awaited return, according to like 3 or 4 people out there. So here we go. The adventure continues. I'm glad you're all watching. Thank you for watching $5 game box and everything else I put here on the Juice Daddy channel. I'm glad some of you are enjoying it. Not for everybody, but it's for you. Like and subscribe if you wish. Take care. I'll see you soon.